Hi, YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere. It's MargaretGeorgeTune.com. I'm back with another Monday morning mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk a little wet shaving and a few other things. What do you got this morning? Well, I got a coffee that I've used in the past. It got the call again this morning. Boy, this is a good cup of coffee. That is a very rich, full-bodied, bold cup of coffee. Yeah, from Whole Foods, their 365 brand Night Owl. Yeah, this is, I think, their darkest roast that they sell right here. This is their Spanish roast, Night Owl Spanish roast. And look, it's the darkest roast there. And it is really, really terrific. This is the opposite end of the spectrum of their bright lights. I've also used this. And of course, this is a lighter roast, as you can see. Here, I'll show you the labels again, right? Dark right here, really, really super, super dark. And this is a lighter blend right here. But they're both very, very good. But, it suddenly dawned on me when I was getting ready to do this morning's Monday morning mailbag, why they might call this Night Owl. I'm thinking that because it's such a dark roast and a bold flavored coffee might be loaded with caffeine. I'm thinking if you have this in the evening, you're going to be up all night. That's what I'm thinking. But it is terrific. I am going to buy this again. It is very, very, very good. And this morning's coffee mug comes from Global Shave Clubs International and Sheldon Quinn. He sent this to me some time ago. So thank you again to Sheldon. This is the Java series coffee mug because they have some razors in their Java series that they sell. And they're terrific razors. And I've got a couple here. I just wanted to show you. Speaking of coffee, here it is right here, the cappuccino. Isn't that terrific? Cappuccino. And they've got the logo right there on the cap. That's just, it's terrific. And I love this handle and I love the feel of this razor. And of course, recently I've reviewed the fire razor. This was a nice one too. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful, beautiful handle? That is really terrific. And both of these razors give a really, really tremendous shave. Now, the one that's a little more aggressive, I've talked about this one, is the Tribute 41 Plus. This is their tribute to the Mula R41. This is not quite as aggressive as that, but boy, this will give you a really, really efficient shave. So you can kind of see that it's got that classic Mula razor head look to it. And finally, I'll just show you one more, and then we'll... because I thought, hey, I'm using the coffee mug. You know what? Yeah, you might want to see what some of their razors look like. The Turbo. This is the Turbo. This has got a beautiful, beautiful handle. This handle, let me take a look at the information sheet again here. I got it right on screen. Yeah, this is a carbon fiber coated brass handle. And of course, this rivals the DE89, the Edwin Jagger DE89. It's in that class. But boy, this is nice. And I love this handle, a carbon fiber coated brass handle. It just has a really, really different kind of grip and feels great. So yeah, those are some of the razors from Sheldon Quinn and Global Shave Clubs International. Just wanted to give them a shout out because, sent me the coffee mug. And, we talk about coffee here. And he's got a line of razors that hearken to coffee, that are related to coffee, the Java series. So yeah, it all fits together. So yeah, that's absolutely great. I hope you're having a great morning. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning, whether it's dark roasted or medium roasted or light roasted, whatever it is. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. So let's get things started. Let's kick it off with a morning viewer shaving tip. Okay, so this morning's shaving tip comes from viewer Bob LaRoe. Now, the reason why I showed you some of those DE razors just before is because Bob's tip has to do with starting out with using a DE safety razor. And he writes, you may or may not agree with this tip, but for those new to DE shaving, I think they should start with one pass and work up to 2 or 3 because it seems one's face needs to adjust to this kind of shaving. And you know what? That's absolutely correct. I've often said this. in a lot of my videos that when I first came back to the traditional wet shave using a safety razor, much like this guy right here, I did give my face time to adjust, to adapt. Now, for me personally, I was coming from an electric razor, from years and years of using an electric razor. And I think that for me, my skin really had to come up to speed, so to speak, because I was doing a dry shave all those years. And the wet shave, I'm introducing water. I'm introducing some really, really good high quality soaps with some great moisturizing ingredients. I'm introducing shave balm with some great moisturizing and skin food ingredients. So yeah, I think my skin really had to adapt to that kind of shave. And, I gave it probably a month and a half, 2 months, somewhere in there. And it just came right up to speed. And each shave just got better and better and better and better. And a lot of it comes down to technique as well. And so, yeah, I absolutely agree with that, Bob. I really, really do. I'd be interested to know what some of the viewers out there think. Do you agree with that? Do you think there is a time there's a period of time that your skin needs to adapt to a safety razor? Possibly even if you've been using a cartridge razor and you're coming over to the safety razor, your skin may have to adapt a little bit also. It's a different kind of feel. It's a light touch, 30 degrees light touch. Let the razor do all the work, gentlemen. That sort of approach. Using a brush and building and whipping up a lather, whether it's in a bowl or doing a face lather. And a lot of guys who use a cartridge razor just slathering something on their face and then going zip, 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 and then out the door. Whereas you do something with the traditional wet shave with a DE razor, you're taking your time. You're drinking it all in. It's you in that shave. There's a real enjoyment factor there. And I do think, my opinion, yes, your skin does adapt. It has to adapt. That's my opinion. That's been my experience. What do you think? Well, anyhow, Bob, I think that's a great tip. I think it's great that you pointed it out. And to say thank you, here it is right here, a George sketch for you and only you, made out to you. Signed original sketch, George sketch. So all you have to do is email me your snail mail address at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and I will send this to you post haste. So thanks very much for the tip, Bob. And if you out there would like an original George sketch made out to you, like I did for Bob right here, all you have to do is send me your shaving tip at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com. And if I use your tip on this program, you too will get an original signed George sketch. Thanks again, Bob. Really do appreciate it. Okay, it's time to go back for a refill. Okay, this morning's refill has to do with that comparison I did last week between the Polsilver Super Iridium razor blade and the Wizamet Super Iridium razor blade. Everyone's wondering if the Wizamet is the same blade as the Polsilver. So I kind of opened them up and looked at them side by side in real time. There is a little bit of a difference in the way these blades are labeled. Polsilver has an R with a circle, a registered mark on it, and the Super Iridium, the Wizamet Super Iridium, have a TM trademark on it. But other than that, the labeling looks identical on both of these. Anyhow, we got some nice comments regarding the comparison video. And Mark Bagwell wrote in part, love the way you did the Polsilver Wizamet showdown. I'm wondering if the TM versus the R has to do with. Can't wait to see the shave off. Yeah, I'm trying to get to doing a shave off between these two. I hope to get that done sometime. But I've got some other things in the pipeline that I've been working on. But anyhow, I hope to get that. Anyhow, he continues, I did the same, and I couldn't tell a difference. I'm using Wizamet in everything now. Love the iridium coating, and they last longer. That's great to hear. These are terrific, terrific blades. I've been linking them below. And let me mention again that the seller tells me you use the code MARK080, one word. When you buy, you get a couple bucks off, which is kind of nice to know. It's a couple bucks. Nice to know. Beth Jones sent me a very nice comment and said, thanks, Mark, for comparing the Wizamet and Polsilver blades. I plan to use both this week with my Henson Mild and see if there is any difference between the two blades. Well, she did do that, and she sent me a wonderful in-depth paper on her experience shaving a right leg and the left leg, and the difference between the two blades in the Henson Mild. It really is very insightful, and she's posted it to her Facebook page. So I will link that so you can look at her results and see what she has to say on that. And I will also, she's also given me permission to post it on my blog. So I'll post it there as well, and I'll link it there also. So really informative, and how she came to her conclusions, and no spoilers here. I'll let you read it for yourself, because it's a very good written, it's a very well written paper on just comparing it, and it kind of motivates me to get my own comparison done. And yeah, I'm gonna try to get that done. But I've been promising it for some time, so yeah, I will do it. I'll absolutely do it, because now I'm intrigued, because Mark Bagwell and Beth Jones have both beaten me to the punch in doing a comparison, so I've got to do it now. So so that's kind of the long and short of it. Some great comments about the Polsilver and the Wizamet. Of course, the main difference here is these things aren't being made anymore on the Polsilver label. They're very, very scarce, and if you try to buy these, you're going to really pay a top dollar. Wizamet are being made right now, and very agreeable price. You can get them in 100, 250, 500, and I also think 750. And I know some viewers have purchased quite a number of them, and I have reported, it's been reported to me by some viewers that they really love these a lot. So I'm hearing some really, really good feedback on these. So yeah, if you've been looking for these and don't want to pay that high price, give these a try right here. Wizamet Super Iridium. All right, thanks very much to Beth and to Mark. Really do appreciate those comments. Okay, it's time to look at some new shaving gear and shaving deals that are out there. Okay, in this morning's shaving deals and new gear, I've got 2-3 things to show you. First of all, I wanted to remind you regarding this razor right here. It's the Sinmirn. That's how I'm pronouncing it. Snmirn. I think that's how it's pronounced. Sinmirn. I'm not entirely sure. But this is a Mercure Futur styled razor of sorts that is adjustable from about 1 to 8, 1 to 9. And it has a magnetic razor head. So this cap is magnetically attached. So there it is right there, magnetically attached. I'll give you a look at the inside of it there, because I don't think I showed that to you long enough when I did the review this past Friday. But that's it right there. And it holds the blade very securely. It's less than $10. I bought this for like $9.99, and I got another 6% off. So I think with taxes, about like $9.50, something like that, $9.50. It's on sale now. Last time I looked, for $6.99, about $7. So it's $3 off the original price. And you know what? For $7, you can't go wrong. Really, this gave me a really nice shave. Check out the review. It ran this past Friday. I liked it a lot. A couple of downsides. Very, very slick handle, so you have to be careful with that. Obviously, you also have to be careful adjusting it. I would, make sure your hands are dry if you're going to adjust it like this. I sometimes use the palm of my hand like this. But other than that, it's a pretty good razor for $7 to $10. It's worth a shot. I found it to be on the milder end. Of course, I didn't turn it up much higher than 5. So I've had several shaves with it. I like it. It's very, very good. And again, for $7 to $10, make a great travel razor. And this magnetic head really is secure. So, give it a look. And, with Prime Day coming around, maybe this is an early Prime Day deal. Prime Day, I believe, is June 21 and 22, June 21st and 22nd. So I also will be tweeting out Prime Day deals when Prime Day rolls around. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, just follow me because all day long I'm going to be looking for wet shaving gear and I'll be tweeting that out. So just wanted to mention that to you. Next up, we have a shaving soap from a young lady in Milton, Ontario, Canada. Now, I also reviewed this. It ran on Saturday. Viewer James Lindsay sent this to me, and a young lady named Morgan, very enterprising, has started her own soap company, and it is called Artistic Soaps and More, right there, Artistic Soaps and More. And I reviewed this shaving soap here, Dark Patchouli. And this was, I thought, a very, very good shaving soap. Now, it is densely packed. This is a really, really hard soap here. And it makes a light, slick lather. It's not going to give you a dense, creamy kind of, well, it is creamy, but it's not going to be this thick, creamy, dense kind of lather that you might be used to with, say, a Sterling soap or a Phoenix shaving soap or a Tabak or Paraso, that kind of thing. It is going to be on the lighter side, on the slicker side. I like that. It's a nice change of pace for me. And the Dark Patchouli really has an earthy kind of a scent to it. There's an earthiness there. There's kind of a fresh, wet soil kind of a scent. Maybe perhaps a little bit of musk. Yeah, a little bit of musk. Maybe even a slight little bit of sweetness there, but it's got this real organic, earthy kind of scent to it. And I liked it. It's rather masculine, and I enjoyed the shave it gave me. Gave me a wonderfully, wonderfully close shave. So I just wanted to pass that on to you, that it is available, and I will link to the young lady's Facebook page so that you can purchase some of this. And she has other soap products up there. Artistic Soaps and More. Get a screenshot of her logo and her brand there so that you recognize it when you go up to Facebook. She has a Facebook account and an Instagram account, and she sells this via Facebook. So out of Milton, Ontario, Canada. So congratulations to her, and wishing her great success with this. That's absolutely great. I like it. She also has two other soaps, Mystical Woods and Lime. So you might want to look for those as well. But this was Dark Patchouli. I enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. And last but not least, Mark Bagwell informed me of a brush being sold by Omega. And the name of the brush is Evo. Small E, large V, small O. I think that's how it's pronounced, Evo. And he wrote up an entire review of it. And I'm going to take that review and I'm going to pin it in the top comment below so you can read what he has to say about it. But in part, he wrote, and it's a terrific looking brush too, and it looks like it's cutting edge technology when it comes to synthetic brushes, synthetic shaving brushes. And he wrote, to Evo or not to Evo? Now, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, EVO. I'm thinking it's Evo. To Evo or not to Evo? The Omega Evo is a synthetic brush that doesn't know it's a synthetic. Look, let's be honest. Shavers who prefer Badger brushes have always regarded a synthetic as a step down. The various list of complaints about synthetics are a lack of water retention, warmth retention, splay, and luxurious face feel only a high-end Badger knot can provide. So synthetics suck, right? Not so fast. The Omega Evo is turning some heads and changing how some of us regard synthetic knots. So you can read the full review in the pinned comments below. It'll be right there at the top. If you don't see it right away, that's because I haven't put it up there yet. I'm waiting for the show to go live, and I'll put it up there as soon as possible. So if you don't see it, then come back. It should be in place there. But my thanks to Mark Bagwell for that. He provided the photo. I don't know where he obtained it, but he provided it for me. So thanks very much for that, Mark. I really do appreciate it. And, synthetic brushes are absolutely great. And as I've said, and many others have said, they keep getting better and better and better. The synthetic brush that you buy today is going to be better than the last one you bought 3 months, 6 months, a year ago. Really, the technology is getting better and better. And it sounds like Omega is onto something really, really, I guess you could say groundbreaking, perhaps. And as far as warmth retention, I agree with that to a certain extent, but my way around that is, of course, the brush scuttle from Phoenix Shaving. This is what I use to keep my brushes warm in between shaving passes, and this works. This works a treat, as they say across the pond. So if you're looking for something to keep your brush warm and you're a face latherer, look no further than the brush scuttle from Phoenix Shaving. I absolutely love this, and you just I do a face lather and just put that in there and it stays warm. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. And if I ever do get a top end Badger brush, it'll be interesting to see how much warmer it is in the brush scuttle than is a synthetic. So yeah, interesting. But anyhow, I'll pin that below so you can read Mark Bagwell's whole review and thoughts on that brush. Thank you again, Mark. Really do appreciate it. So, hey, that was, that was the look at some of the stuff this week. Hopefully I'll have some more next week, kind of lining some things up. Really loving this segment a lot. I hope you're enjoying it too. Let me know in the comments below. I didn't think I was going to get enough material or content to do this every week, but it turns out I am, and I'm really enjoying it. I hope you enjoy it as well. So thanks very much. Okay, so let's get to some of these questions this morning. This first one comes from viewer Chandra K. Balur. Chandra, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. And he writes, Sir, do you shave daily? If so, do you use pre-shave oil daily? I'm new to wet shaving, so I have a lot of questions. Please don't mind. I don't mind at all. I had a lot of questions when I came back to the traditional wet shave, and I'm sure a lot of viewers out there found themselves in the same situation. You had a lot of questions on how to do it, what to use, that sort of thing. So to answer your question, yes, I shave daily. I enjoy shaving daily. Sometimes I'll modify my shaving schedule depending on an item that I'm going to be reviewing, whether it's a new razor or a new shave soap. Then I might skip a day just so I have a little more beard growth. I know that I just saw it again today. Someone posted a comment, do you have any facial hair? Because I'm fair-skinned, a lot of times 1 day's worth of growth doesn't photograph as well as, say, 2 days worth of growth. So that's another reason why I will try to skip a day. It will give my skin a rest. It will give my face a rest, which is always nice. But you know what? I like to shave every single day. There are a few videos I have where I have about 4 or 5 days worth of beard growth. If you look around my channel, you'll probably see those. Look for Bond and Barista. That's a review I did on the Gillette Adjustable Slim from the same year that the movie Goldfinger was released. And you'll see I have about 4 or 5 days worth of beard growth there. I don't like having a beard on my face. That's why I like to shave every single day. And I really, really do enjoy the process. Now, as far as pre-shave oil, yes, pre-shave oil was probably one of the first things I was introduced to in order to aid my shave. But this goes back to Bob LaRoe's morning tip. My face really had to adjust and adapt, but pre-shave oil helped me to kind of help my skin to kind of adapt and kind of accept the traditional wet shave. I think it really did help, but since then I've used other kinds of pre-shaves. But let me show you what I used starting out. The very first one I used was the Art of Shaving pre-shave oil, their sandalwood scented pre-shave oil. This was very good. I like this, and I continue to use this, every once in a while. And from there, I learned about Viking's Blade pre-shave oils. I like the different scents that they offer. This one happens to be Gentle Mint. Like that a lot. And of course, Global Shave Clubs International has the BAD, before, after, and during pre-shave oil. I like this a lot. I like the tea tree oil in here, and the coconut oil and the eucalyptus, the peppermint, the lemon, really, really terrific scent. So I do like some of the pre-shave oils. I also have used pre-shave creams that I thought were very, very good. Proraso, this is an empty jar. I just keep it just to show you, just to display for these kinds of purposes. You can see it's empty, but I really burned through it, and I thought it was very, very good. This is something marketed to those who have sensitive skin. I think it's a very, very good pre-shave product. However, viewers alerted me to an alternative to Proraso, which is Noxzema. Noxzema, you could use this as a pre-shave. This was very, very good as well. And I've used this, and I've enjoyed using this. If you go into your local Walmart and you want to save a couple of bucks, you can get the Equate, their version of Noxzema. So either one of these, you could get this for, I don't know, maybe $5, $6. Maybe this is $4 or $5, something like that. I haven't checked prices. But yeah, both of these are the same. The Equate is, competes with the Noxzema. But that was also a very, very good pre-shave. But since then, and it's been a process, and I'm just showing you all these items because I went from an oil to a different kind of oil to a cream to a Noxzema. And finally, when I discovered, through viewers, when I discovered Sterling soaps, but more importantly, Phoenix shaving soaps, because the artisan soaps really upped my game, and I could see that they offered really some really, really great stuff for the traditional wet shave. Phoenix shaving offers a terrific pre-shave soap, the Cube. And you see me use this in my reviews. Boy, I like this because it's soap. And it preps the skin very, very well. It degreases it, gets rid of the excess oil. Then you can rub some of this on there before your shave, and it aids in generating a lather. And it really adds protection because of the ingredients that are in here. Now, this is the Cube 2.0 with activated charcoal, which has some great benefits for the skin. Menthol, formula CK6, and this is the Twoob or the Twee Cube. This has prickly pear and some other great stuff in there. So there's some really, really good ingredients in these pre-shave soaps, and I like using those a lot because it complements what I'm going to be shaving with, soap. There are some times where I've experienced some pre-shave oils don't play nice with some shave soaps, especially if I'm doing a face lather. So not always, but there have been those rare occasions. When that happens, I have to remember to do a bowl lather and then paint it on rather than generate the lather there. The oil and the soap don't play well together. That's been some rare instances, but not always. And of course, the other thing that I like about the Phoenix shaving is they're always thinking outside the box. So if you travel, they have the tube, which is the Cube in a tube form. So you have it right there so you can travel with it and use it the same way as you use the Cube. And you can see I've been using this quite a bit. I really do like it a lot. And I do change things up every once in a while, and we'll pull out the pre-shave oil. But lately, it's been pre-shave soap. So try any of these. Any of these will be good options. Try them. You know what? As viewer Rick Festa said, your face, your rules. There's nothing hard and fast that one is better than the other. It's your face, your rules. Make it your shave, that sort of thing, and see which one works best for you. But these are kind of what I've tried since coming back to the traditional wet shave, and I've really settled in with the pre-shave soap. I like it a lot, and the Phoenix shaving really has some great products there. And again, I think they were thinking outside the box when they introduced that. So I'm not sure the other guys out there, what they have, but you know what? Creams, soaps, oils, Noxzema, they're all great. Find which one works best for you and which complements your shaving soap and your routine the best. That's kind of the way I look at it. And again, in a 6-8 months, a year, something else might come along and I might try that and say, hey, that's great too. That's what's so great about the traditional wet shave. right now is the best time to be doing it because there's so much stuff out there. It's just a great time to be doing a traditional wet shave. As I always say, you'll find a razor, a brush, a soap, a pre-shave, aftershave, etc., that fits your wallet, your budget, and your skin type. So thanks very much for the question, Chandra. I hope that gives you a little bit of an answer and an overview. So thanks very much again. Okay, so this next question comes from viewer RMK. And he writes, great Monday morning mailbag. I have a question. Can you talk about semi-slant razors? Are they aggressive or mild? How efficient are they? Do you recommend it for sensitive skin and or beginners? Thanks. Well, RMK, I have experience with two different kinds of slant razors. The first one is the Phantom Blue. I also have the La Fantasma from Phoenix Shaving. This one's from Phoenix Shaving. Comes in several different colors, 2-3 different colors, red, blue, and a glow in the dark. This is a double open comb, double slant razor that's made out of ABS. It's lightweight and also has a little bit of twist adjustability due to a buffer ring right here in the base that is kind of built in there. If you can see that right there. And this has been a terrific, terrific razor. It is very, very lightweight. I like the twist adjustability. And this is a mild razor for me. It really is. Plus the twist adjustability allows you to open up that gap just a little bit if you want to increase the efficiency of it. But I think the best way to describe how a slant razor works comes right from Phoenix Shaving's product page, where they talk about this razor right here. And they write, the dramatically shaped slant cap secures the blade at a precisely calculated cutting angle. This, in conjunction with the slanted open comb, creates a smooth, drawing, scythe-like cut. You will find it super efficient and truly pleasant to take down that unruly beard. That, I think, is probably the best description I've heard of how a slant cuts. It's scythe-like. It is a different kind of cut to the beard. I have not found either of these slants that I have used overly aggressive. The other one that I've used comes from Global Shave Clubs International. This is the Diablo slant. And really, it came with a standard handle, and I'm going to be using different handles with it. But this slant razor head right here really is very, very comfortable, and I don't consider it to be an overly aggressive razor at all. Again, it's a different kind of cutting action because of the way the blade is seated there, and the shape of the razor head and whatnot. So that's the only experience I have with slant razors. Now, my understanding is semi-slant versus slant is that semi-slant is supposed to be less aggressive. You know what? I've not used a semi-slant razor. I've only used these two, and each of these has been very mild and very comfortable. And I have no complaints regarding either of these. You know, no nicks, no cuts, no irritation. I even use this one for head shaves. It is that good. I like it a lot. Of course, it is lightweight, so if you're looking for something with a little more heft, probably something like this or something from Parker. Parker makes some semi-slants. I know that I was talking to one young man a couple of years ago regarding the traditional wet shave. He wanted to get into it. He contacted me. He was a friend of my nephew's, and I kind of gave him some advice, and he took it and really, really started to enjoy the traditional wet shave, then went to a slant razor and never looked back. He just thought the slant razor was so wonderful for his shave, and he just really, really sang its praises. So, you know, your mileage may vary like anything else, but my understanding is semi-slant is a little less aggressive or a little milder than the regular slant razor. But again, I've not used a semi-slant. I've only used this slant, and I don't think either one of these is described as a semi-slant. At least I haven't seen any product information claiming that these are semi-slants. They're just marketed and labeled as slant razors, and they've been smooth and mild for me. and I absolutely have no complaints. So I think that helps, but I would also invite some of the viewers out there who might have a little more experience with slant razors to comment below and maybe help out RMK with his decision on which direction to go with a slant or a semi-slant, that sort of thing. But really, it's a different kind of a shave. It's a different kind of a feel. I like it. I enjoy it. And your question, inspired me to go out and go through all my razors and pull these out. And you know what? My next shave is going to be with this guy right here because you know what? I'm going to get another handle and I'm going to use this one and experience it again because it really is a wonderful shave. It's a little different and I really do enjoy it. I have used this one many, many times, but yeah, you've inspired me to pull out the Global Shave Club's International Slant. So that's what I'm going to be shaving with my next shave. So thank you very much for that because a lot of these questions from viewers remind me of what I have in my collection. So thanks very much for that, RMK. And I hope the answer helps you in sorting it out. But as I say, semi-slant is supposed to be a little milder than slant, but the slants that I have are really, really wonderfully mild and give me a really, really terrific, efficient shave. So thanks for the question. I hope that helps. Okay, so this next comment comes from viewer Gary Andrews. And he wrote, I would like to comment on septuagenarian wet shaving. I have always wet shaved. Now that I'm in my 70s with diminishing eyesight and a less than steady hand, I have left using a DE safety razor and adapted to the Gillette Mach 3 cartridge blade. My facial features and beard growth direction have not changed, so that only leaves technique. It took me about 6 months of working on the technique. Now after 2 passes, I get a DFS, and 3 passes, I'm able to get a BBS, darn fine shave and baby butt smooth shave. My point being, with all of the wonderful pre-shave, shave soaps, and aftershave products out there, it can be done, still enjoying wet shaving. My dad taught me how to shave when I was 16 years old. At that age, I thought there was little I didn't already know. Typical dummy. I was half listening to my dad's instruction until we got to the end of the shave when he said to feel for any areas I might have missed. His comment of, if you can feel any beard with your fingers, she can feel it with her cheek. Now, to a pubescent 16-year-old boy, I went, wait, what? Now you have my full attention. My next shave 4 days later, I made sure to listen to Dad's instruction from start to finish. I know for a fact it works as my wife and I are now married 49 years and still counting. Hope others might find this useful. Hey, congratulations. Thanks very much, Gary. I do appreciate that. Again, this goes back to what viewer Rick Festa says. I want to give him credit. Your shave, your face, your rules. Your shave, your rules. Your face, your rules, really. And if you find that it was time to go back to a cartridge razor, that's fine. There are many out there who feel that it's time to move away from a cartridge razor. But I guess there are some advantages to each, depending on who you are. He also wrote back to me after I asked him a couple of pointed questions about his comments. Hi, Mark. I used the DE safety razor for years, but with my age and all that goes with getting older, I was not able to get a good shave with the DE anymore. I did switch to the Mach 3 cartridge razor as it is more forgiving for me. I am using the cartridge exclusively now. And he goes on to talk about the cost and that sort of thing. But he does say this, the DE shave is really the way to shave. But again, due to my age and condition, I find it necessary to switch to a cartridge. But the point I was hoping to make was that don't ever give up. And I guess what he is really saying here, and I'll summarize a lot of what he's saying here, is that because of all those great wet shaving products that are out there, you'll be able to find, as I always say, a razor, a soap, a pre-shave, an aftershave, etc., that will give you an absolutely great shave. Now, I prefer the double-edged razor, the safety razor. I love it. I know that there are times when we talk about cartridge razors on this channel, and I have even reviewed some of those cartridge razors. And again, going back to traveling, if you're traveling by air and you only have a take-on, you know what? You're probably going to have to take a cartridge razor and use that for your weekend getaway if you're flying, because a safety razor on board a flight in a carry-on could be problematic. You're not allowed to take those blades on the carry-on at all. You can take them in your check luggage, but if you're just doing a weekend getaway and want to throw something into a travel bag and carry it on on the plane with you, cartridge razor is probably a way to do it. And there are some great ones. The Mach 3 is very, very good. And there are some others that I have reviewed. For me, I'm kind of with you on this, Gary. 3 blades or less for a cartridge razor works best for me. But yes, at this point for me, I love the double-edged safety razor. I love the fact that you can mix and match different blades with it and get different kinds of shaves. It's absolutely wonderful. But if the cartridge razor works best for you, then by all means, that's what you're going with. That's great, and it's great to see though that you're using a good shave soap and those kinds of things that are out there for all wet shavers, because I think that really is key. So thanks very much for those comments, Gary. I think it's very helpful to some of the others out there in the audience, and I thank you very, very much for your kind responses. Okay, so this next comment comes from viewer Roger Samaniego. I hope I pronounced that correctly, Roger. Samaniego. I think that's how it's pronounced. Samaniego. Samaniego. I hope that's correct. But I'm reading this comment as a follow-up to what Gary had said about coming back to a cartridge razor. So this is kind of a different perspective regarding the safety razor, and it goes back to what we had talked about previously regarding family connections and safety razors. And Roger writes, shaving is a funny thing. Most people do it, but it seems almost taboo to talk about for most people. When people found out that I buy antique, used, as they say, razors, they thought it was gross and an awkward thing. I never really talked about shaving with my dad or grandpa. I decided not to be that way with my kids. I've set back 3 specific razors so far. The first is an almost perfect super speed red tip. The second is a restored G3 Slim Aristocrat. And last but definitely not least is a restored D3 Executive Fat Boy. My wife has set back a few pristine Lady Gillettes for our daughters. I hope they appreciate them as much as we have. Even if they don't use them, they will last indefinitely. Yeah, that's really, really nice, Roger. And again, that falls right in line with what we've talked about regarding those family connections with razors. I happen to have my late father's Super Speed, and I also have an old type that I think belonged to his father. It was in Dad's shaving gear, and it dates back to I think the 1919s, the 1920s, somewhere in there, 1918, 19, 1920, 22. And, I'm thinking that, my father inherited that from his father. If he didn't, maybe he got it from an older brother, or maybe he got it from a coworker. I'm not sure, but I think it was my grandfather. So I really have no way of knowing. But there's a lot of history there. And for sure, there's a family history with my father's Super Speed. And I'm so glad I have it. I really do. And I think that what you're doing for your children is fantastic. And I think a lot of wet shavers out there who are watching this right now feel the same way, that they're going to take their razor collections, whether they have a lot of them or a few of them, and they're going to earmark them for whoever wants them. I know that's what I'll be doing. And it really is something neat to hand down. It's also something neat to receive. And that's really, really great. So I just wanted to read that to folks because there is that tradition there. There's that tradition and there's that history. And that's another really, really neat thing about the traditional wet shave and some of these antique razors. There's this great history that we can read about regarding the razor, when it came out, what was happening during that time period when the razor was introduced. Those kinds of things that really interest me. And I think maybe that's the history buff in all of us, I guess, that we not only like the traditional wet shave, but we enjoy the history and the story behind the razor, how it was brought to market, who used it, those kinds of things. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. So thanks very much for that comment, Roger. I think it was a good follow-up to what Gary had to say about going from the DE back to the cartridge, but now here's kind of the other side of the coin where folks have gone from cartridges to traditional safety razors, as I have, because it's actually more than the shave. There's more to it than the shave itself. There's this history, and also a family history and a family connection if you're fortunate enough to have a razor from a father or a grandfather, an older brother, that sort of thing. So thanks very much for that, Roger. I really, really do appreciate you sharing those comments with us. Well, that's it. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like. Hit that bell so it'll give you hell the next time I upload a video. Comment below, let me know. Check out the Executive Shaving Company. Use the code MARK5. Check out my blog, georgetoon.com/blog for my comics with George, other cartoons, other videos like this. I'm on Facebook. Check out my Facebook page. Check out Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements for some great, great shaving gear. Check out VikingsBlade.com for some great shaving gear. Check out Global Shave Clubs International for some great shaving gear. Check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/MarksRadio, where you'll find all the products that I review in this channel, organized and categorized so you can find everything in a snap very easily. I'll leave you with this laugh. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Make it a great week.